Are you ready, Raegan?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Victoria?
I'm ready.
To party. All right.
All right, well, welcome back to Name 3 Players. I'm literally crying from quoting Superbad. Oh my god. It was instantaneous too. Okay, this is Name 3 Players, not Superbad.
Darn.
We're just reading the manuscript of Superbad from start to finish.
Now enter Michael Cera.
Oh, I would be Michael Cera.
As long as I can be McLovin.
Okay. Deal. We're your hosts, Victoria.
And I'm Raegan.
And this is Sports for the Girls. If you're new here, that's really it. It's sports for the girls. So if you don't know shit about shit, we're for you. If you know all there is to know, we're giving you the top 3 sports news stories of the week.
Yeah, carry it into your weekend, to your hot date.
Or
spit
just
some facts, impress the guy, or just...
with the girls.
Yeah. Spit some facts with the girls.
That's the era we're in personally.
Yeah.
We are just spitting the sports facts with the girls. But if you are in your hot date scene, then you do that.
How the hell are you?
How the hell am I? Well, last week, okay, so today I was at the gym and I was on the elliptical and I was thinking about this question specifically for tonight. And I was like, last week I was like, I'm fine. But
Narrator,
she wasn't fine.
and that's okay.
And that's okay. It's okay not to be fine. And last week I wasn't fine. I was fine. Like
Surface level, fine.
Surface level, fine. This week, I am fine.
Could always be better.
Could be better, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is there's such a spectrum of fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you? And you're like on your last fucking thread and you're like, hey, if one person says one wrong thing to me, I may implode internally. Mm-hmm. That, if you are a random person on the street and you're like, Victoria, how the hell are ya? And I'd be like, I'm fine. That's that fine. Mm-hmm. Today, if you were to ask me that, I'd be like, I'm fine. Like, I really am fine. So, going back to last week, wasn't fine. Really hard week. Multiple things were not going my way. Relationally, freaking work-wise, just really everything. One of those when it rains, it pours kind of weeks. And just like, we talked about being in like a mental rut a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I got out of that mental rut. And then life was like, just kidding. We're throwing you right back there. And we're also going to have a shit storm on top of that.
Love that.
So yeah, last week, not fine at all. But there's something so beautiful about admitting when you're not okay to your friends. I'm only fine this week because I said I wasn't last week. And there's so much power in that.
Yeah.
So, little PSA, girls, find your friends that you can say, yo,
not fine.
this fine has an asterisk next to it. And it's about to get so not fine. So this week I really am fine. I'm like, I feel good. I'm like, you know, putting the pieces back together in certain situations, and it just feels so much better. And I think, like I said, just having your friends, I cannot stress that enough, like the importance of real friends that you don't have to say you're fine to. Mm-hmm. Not even the spectrum of fine. You can say exactly how you are, and I wish that for genuinely everyone, and I know that's not everyone's reality, and I feel so fucking thankful to have it be mine. And yeah, if you don't have those people and you want to shoot Name 3 Players a DM and talk about how unfine you are, fucking do it, because we're here on the other end.
We sure are.
So yeah, that's how I am.
I love that. I'm glad that our level of fine has moved up this week.
Yes, the spectrum of fine. We're on the fucking up end of fine.
Good.
How are you? What level of fine are you?
I would say I'm at the low level of I'm fine.
It's the short, high pitch. Fine.
I'm fine. The higher pitched my voice is, the less fine I am. Yeah. But you know, I just, this year's been a fucking year. I was thinking about this today, getting my sandwich before I came over here. Mm-hmm. It's just been a shit fucking year. And like you said, when it rains, it pours. And right now, it just won't stop pouring.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like you said, there's power in like admitting when you're not fine and, like, when you need to lean on those people.
Yeah.
I'm having a really hard time leaning on the people. Like, my family's doing everything they can to, like, be there for me.
Right.
But, like, I'm having a hard time letting myself let them do that because I feel like I shouldn't need their help. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. It's an ego thing for sure.
Like, my dad sent me the nicest text this morning, and, like, I should have been so grateful, but I was like, I shouldn't need that. I'm 30, almost. I shouldn't need that.
Right. And it's just, like, the negative self-talk that you're like,
but it's like,
no, this is, like, why friends and family are put in place, like
yeah.
what I just said. But you can't allow yourself to just be like, no, that's, like, literally, you do the same. You have done the same for your family and your friends. But it's just this ego thing. And it's also the like, what I was saying about the admittance. It's like, once you do it and it doesn't get better, then you're like, okay, cool. So now I'm just keep saying that I'm not fine.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to keep being like, yep, nope, not better over here.
Still
fucking here.
Yeah.
But that's, and if anything, like, you're like you said, it's been a shit fucking year. It's almost the end of the year. Let's fucking say that more. Let's say that it's been a shit year. Or not even, like, I don't, like, timestamps, whatever, time is a construct. It's been a shit however long. And it's okay to fucking say that. It's okay to say that, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows all the time. And it's okay to not be fine.
Yeah.
It's okay to be fine.
It's a lot of mind shift and self-talk. Like, on my way to work, after I like, texted my dad, I was like, that's so sweet of you. You didn't have to do that.
Right.
He's like, I know I didn't, but I wanted to because I'm your dad.
100%.
And you needed it.
Yeah.
And, like, it's a mind shift.
God
because,
love
like,
dads.
how lucky am I to have that? Some people don't.
Perspective shift.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
it's like, things aren't fine. They will be fine. They'll be okay.
Right.
And right now it's just going to be hard.
And
that's okay.
if you're listening to this and things in your life don't feel fine, you're not fucking alone. And there's so much power in that too. I was having this conversation over the weekend, ran into them, hadn't seen them in a long time. They don't live here anymore. They were in town from out of town. And they asked me that. And I was just like a couple tequila sodas in, enough to be like, oh no, I'm going to tell you like what the asterisk on my fine is, not just fine. Because they were like, oh my gosh, how are you? Everything looks so good. And that's the fucking thing that, like, I hate, is when someone's like, how are you? Everything looks so amazing.
It's
and that's
the
like
thief of social media.
100%.
Because everything's not fine. And,
No.
like, obviously I'm not going to post when I'm not fine on social media.
Right.
So, of course, I'm glad my life looks great. But it's actually crumbling
But that's
around
what I'm
me right
saying
now.
is, like, we have to talk about it more.
Yeah.
Because this girl was like, oh my God, like, work looks so amazing. Like, oh my gosh, the podcast and, like, everything. And, like, you know, talking about my, like, social life and everything. And she was like, I just, like, sometimes look at you and I'm like, holy shit, like, I would do anything. And we talked about that. And, like, someone saying that to you. And what that makes me feel like is I'm like, God, we got to be more honest. Like, we have to talk more about, it's not great over here. You don't want what she's having. Like, everyone has their shit. And so I was really honest. I'm like, hey, probably a little too honest. Probably too little tequila soda honest.
That's okay.
But I was just like, yeah, dude, it's actually not great. And, like, this is what's happening with work and this is what's happening here. And then she was like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then she started talking about, like, what's going on in her life and the real shit. So it's like saying, hey, it's been a shit year, or hey, I'm not fine, is inspiring other people, and it feels like okay to say the same thing.
And that makes you feel a little better about things.
Right. And then it, like, empowers those conversations and also opens up a window for you to reach back out to those people and be like, how are you actually? How are you really? And keep continuing those conversations. So.
Damn.
Well, we just talked about mental health for a long time.
Yeah.
But do you have any wins and losses to report?
My win was, I was a grade A hater on the Chiefs Germany game because, like, fuck you for waking me up on my alarm-free living day at 8 a.m. But my parents had a brunch in their lounge, and it just was, like, such a fun day. I was, like, drunk by 10 a.m., mimosas, Bloody
And then you weren't
Marys.
hungover because it died off.
Yeah,
before
slept all
Monday
afternoon.
morning.
And then my parents and I went to this place in downtown Lee Summit called Conrad's. That's a scratch kitchen. Phenomenal.
What's a scratch kitchen?
Everything's from scratch. They make it all fresh in-house. There's
Where
only, like,
can
2
we
things on the
go?
menu that they like, that is frozen. Homemade pizzas, homemade sauce.
I would like to go.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that was my win. My loss, I think, is obvious. What we talked about already.
Oh, okay.
So.
I was like...
Yeah. So, anyway, what about you?
Wins, I would honestly mimic the Chiefs Germany game as being my win. It was giving Super Bowl energy. Like, we woke up and we're like, let's fucking go. I was really hungover. But it did not get me down. I think we were on, like, Lindsay, how many hours of sleep?
Oh, God, babe. 2 or 3.
Yeah, and we, like, woke up and, like, ready to go. Mm-hmm. I did nap extremely hard following the game. Well, really for the rest of the day, I napped, actually. But, yeah, no, I really, really loved it, and I just enjoyed watching it. And anytime Tyreek Hill doesn't look good, I really just enjoy it.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, me too.
That
so that was my win.
Yeah.
The Chiefs winning was my win, but also Tyreek Hill losing was my win. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I would say that. And then just a little asterisk, I've gotten into Pilates this week. I'm just like, it's my whole new personality.
Oh.
And that's my win.
Nice.
Yeah.
Two wins.
Been
Double
twice,
whammy.
this week, and it's Wednesday. So
beautiful. I love that for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
On a Kansas City level, we had 2 wins this week. The Chiefs won. Mm-hmm. Pretty big game. And then Sporting Kansas City, the Kansas City soccer team, is now on its way to the semifinals, which is crazy. They beat, huge upset. They beat St. Louis, which was the number 1 seed in their conference. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff to watch.
Big win. And
or not watch, whatever. But
all,
crazy stuff to experience.
It all happened on the same day, which was cool.
Yeah. Big Sunday for Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, shall we recap last week?
We shall.
So we reported on this last week. Obviously, our recap segment is just any notable updates or changes to last week's stories, but
anything the girls need to know.
Raiders were shambly. I don't know. I don't know. They seem less shambly this week.
I'm going to be real. I do not know what shambly means.
They're in shambles. Shambly.
Root word. I could have figured that one out.
Yeah.
Context is key.
Yeah. No, they were in shambles. And
Raiders are in shambles.
But I don't know if they are anymore. They are, like, fully bought into their interim head coach, Antonio Pierce, which...
And they had their first win under the coach. That'll definitely make you, believe.
They played the...
Oh, the Giants.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So, the head coach, I don't know if you've seen any of his, like, pressers and stuff.
Yes.
But, like, I'm also bought in, which just last week I was saying how much I hated the Raiders still. I still do, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm very intrigued by this new head coach.
Yeah.
He is a player's coach through and through.
Good speaker.
He was a player. He grew up a Raiders fan, so, like, he's bought into everything.
Cute.
He brought the practice squad players on the sidelines for the game, which they don't usually get to do.
Right.
And he was like, those dudes are the reason that we won this week. They help in practice. They've earned their spot on the sideline. And I've dangled that carrot in front of them, and now hopefully they can earn their spot on the roster and play in a game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was just thinking, like, about practice squad being on the sidelines. Is that, like, really a coaching decision? Because, like, some teams do that.
I don't know. He said in his press conference about it that, like, he was like, that's never been done here, but...
Okay.
So, I don't know.
That's interesting that it's, like, per team. That, like, those rules.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, I think every presser, I've only seen him speak twice in 2 different pressers, but the guy can talk, and I think that anytime that can happen, like anytime you can really win a presser, it does win the crowd.
Yeah.
And if he's speaking like that to the media and the public, then he's probably speaking well to the team.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. But yeah, I agree. I'm bought in as well. I'm excited to see where it goes.
There were
excited is a little dramatic. I'm interested.
There were a lot of videos of them. They they broke out the celebratory cigars in the locker room after their win, and people are like, "You suck record-wise, and you beat the Giants. So like, what's the celebration?" But I truly think that entire locker room is so happy that Josh McDaniels is not their coach any longer. That they're like, "A win's a win. We got 2 wins and a new head coach and a football game, so we're gonna fucking celebrate."
And also, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, let them celebrate.
Let them celebrate.
Devontae Adams looked
Can we not have joy?
I don't think so. I really don't think anyone in the world allows joy anymore.
Bring joy back.
Truly.
Make joy great again. Okay, so yeah, the Raiders were in shambles.
Maybe not anymore. Who knows? We'll
But
see.
maybe on the up and up.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Moving up on the fine spectrum.
Oh my god, they're fine.
They're fine.
They're fine.
They're not fine anymore. They're
not.
fine.
I'm fine.
Yeah. All right, so we're recapping our Week 9 picks. Again, while it's football season, there's just lots going on. So Vic and I make friendly wagers if we disagree on some notable matchups. So
Friendly wagers that are friendly for now,
not for later.
not for later. They're going to be very unfriendly.
Okay, Dolphins versus Chiefs. I think the Dolphins are frauds.
Yeah, not frogs, frauds.
F-R-A-U-D.
See, okay, I hear you. I'm not going to go that far.
They haven't beat a team with a winning record.
I understand. And by definition, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, we didn't beat them by that much.
We held them to 21-0 the whole first half.
I understand, but the score was 21-14.
Yeah, but they have the fastest offense in the league, and we held them to only 14 points in the last half of the game when we fell apart.
I get you. And I think I'll go back and say I'll sign off on the fraud of it all. I do get what you're saying, but there was a point in that game where I was like, hey, guys.
Our offense looked like dog shit and still won.
I understand.
No, I'm agreeing with you on that point.
Yeah. I'm just saying, frauds, sure. I don't think they're a bad team, and I'm scared to say that out loud on something that will be here forever. Because if they come back and do better than us, I don't want this to be in history.
Okay, so for the girlies that don't know, last season was the first season with the Chiefs without Tyreek Hill. And everybody was like, how are they going to be without him? La, 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 la.
And if you're like, who's Tyreek Hill? Dumb.
Yeah. He's easily the best receiver in the league.
Yeah. Not you. You're not dumb. He's dumb.
He is. So then this is the first time we've played him, as we said last week. Tyreek Hill ultimately won us the game, but it goes so much farther back than just the game.
The irony is so
It's
deep.
Poetic, okay?
Cinema.
So listen to this. The Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill for draft picks. They got 1 first-round pick in the trade, and they used that pick on Trent McDuffie. In the first time we played Tyreek Hill, McDuffie forced the fumble out of Tyreek's hands, and then our defense scored the touchdown and won the game.
You couldn't write that.
And also
You
won the
couldn't.
Super Bowl without him last season, so.
Cinema. I love this song.
We
Turn it
shit
up.
the bed against the Broncos and then had that.
Yeah.
I love this team so
No.
much.
They instantly, the Chiefs organization media, they made a reel of that play. And I swear I went to bed like a little kid on Christmas Eve, just watching it and was like,
Go Chiefs.
go Chiefs.
All right, they're on a bye week, as are the Dolphins, so you guys don't have to hear us talk about them next week.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, everyone's probably talking about that game. That was crazy.
Yeah. All right.
And just the irony just woven into that.
Yeah.
Mwah.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah.
And how much shit Tyreek Hill was talking the whole week leading up to the game. And we held him to under 100 yards.
Doesn't get better. Doesn't.
All right.
Vikings versus Falcons. Yeah, they did what we said they were going to do.
It's a Cinderella story. You did win that one. You
I know.
did pick the Vikings.
And I was like, I think it'll bring them together and make it a maximum effort. And it worked.
It worked. So we did say that Jaren Hall, their rookie quarterback, was going to start. And he did. But he got injured early on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Josh Dobbs, who they just traded from the Cardinals that week.
Yeah. He's fresh
Came
on
in
the
and
scene.
Saved the day.
Yeah. They won 31-28 over the Falcons.
He was...
Close game, but honestly, did you watch it?
Yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, it was a great game. Josh Dobbs was traded earlier that week to the team, had not taken a single snap, and then Jaren Hall gets hurt, and so Josh Dobbs is on the sidelines with the O-line going through his sequence.
Yeah. But no, great game. Cool to watch. Go Vikings.
I saw a TikTok that was like, the Vikings fans are totally bought into Josh Dobbs. He has alopecia, so one fan filmed himself shaving off his eyebrows, shaving off his...
That is unhinged.
Jada Pinkett Smith could never. I'm sorry, no.
Jada Pinkett Schminkett?
Will Smith would never for Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett Schminkett. Did she really have alopecia?
Yeah.
That's what the whole thing is about.
The slap.
That's why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, because he was like, she has alopecia, you dick.
Where have I been? Do you ever wonder, like, am I okay?
Truly, in this moment right now, how did you not know that?
For
For 2 years, people have been talking about this shit, and you didn't know that?
I remember the slap. I don't really remember, like, the essence of
Because he
it.
called her G.I. Jane and something, and
She was-
because she's bald, but it's because she's losing her hair.
She's annoying. I don't care.
Yeah.
Uh,
So anyway,
all right.
Josh
well,
Dobbs.
Cowboys versus Eagles. The Eagles won 28-23. Cowboys still look good. Like, they're still very much in it. Eagles look better.
Yeah,
That's
you can
really
always
it on
count on.
that.
You can always count on Dak Prescott to fuck it up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So
Bills versus Bengals. Y'all, Joe Burrow is back. It's honestly, welcome back. Welcome
Yeah.
to he welcomed him back week 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was when they started their resurgence. Week 9, came back with vengeance. They're here.
yeah,
They're back. They
there's-
beat the Bills 24-18. I did say that the Bengals were going to win that
You
one,
did.
unfortunately. And they did. So,
Yeah, Bills.
Bills are not billing.
No, they may miss the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's our week 9 picks. Those are our takeaways.
Vic is up 2-0.
Yep.
Crazy.
You keeping track of that? Okay, so the week 10 notable matchups. Like Rig said, there's a bye week for the Chiefs, Dolphins, and then also the Eagles. The Jets play the Raiders. And honestly, I mean, like, the Raiders are coming out of a little bit of a Cinderella story there. They're playing the Jets. What do you think?
I will say Raiders, and here's why.
Mm-hmm.
They are still so fucking fired up. And the Jets head coach today, Robert Saleh, somebody asked him why Zach Wilson was still starting, which I was going to start to nibble on my words, but now I'm spitting them back out, not eating them.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm taking the 5th on that one. You got me. I don't know.
What?
He
He
was like-
said that in press today?
He said, I'm taking the 5th.
This coach, dude.
So, I'm going to take the Raiders.
Dude, that's crazy.
Do you want to stand behind your boy, Zach Wilson?
Not if his coach isn't. But seriously, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So are you sticking with the Raiders?
It's Saleh.
Saleh.
I hate that he said that. That makes me like, my empathy for Zach Wilson just went up again.
Do you feel okay?
I had empathy for Zach Wilson the whole way.
I know this.
That was my
still am
bit.
shocked by this because like you are so not an empathetic towards someone like Zach Wilson.
You're so not an empathetic.
And I'm saying to someone like Zach Wilson,
Yeah.
usually you'd be like, tough shit.
I know, like, I started out, like, the timeline of me and Zach Wilson is like, you're stupid, shut up, no, you're not good enough. And then I was like, oh my God, you are good enough, and everyone's counting you out, including me. Here, you're amazing. You're going to be the next big thing. And then, now it's not looking that way. But I still am going to say that I'm going to stick by his side.
You're going Jets.
Yeah, I am. And also, fuck that coach. That's so mean.
All right, so I picked Raiders. Vic chose Jets. We'll see.
Okay.
All right.
49ers versus Jags. Our 49ers, our secondary team, our closet team. And it really is our closet team.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I think 49ers.
Yeah, both teams are coming off a bye. 49ers, their run game is going to face the Jags' run defense. So, I don't really know. But I think the 49ers is probably a safe bet. They need a redeeming game.
Yeah, they do.
But Jags are kind of hot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a toughie. But I'm still going 49ers.
I want to make it interesting.
Shake on it.
Jags.
Raegan's going Jags. Chloe, write her down. Vikings versus Saints. I mean, as we mentioned, Josh Dobbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on upset watch because typically the Saints would be favored, but now with his performance last week,
Yeah, I'm going Vikings.
yeah, I would too. I don't want to bet against my new guy.
Yeah.
I love
Just
him.
out of, endearment.
Did you see the video of? So he led the team to ultimately the game-winning drive, but then Falcons took the ball, had a chance to like tie it or whatever. But there's a video of Josh Dobbs just sitting on the bench alone, no one else around him. And like game was called, they won, and he literally just like dropped his head. Like he was so like, I think a breath of relief. Because imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, like I have to figure out my fucking cadence with these guys right now in the middle of the game.
Right.
And then he was the last one in the locker room, and like he probably doesn't even know all the guys' names on that team. And
my gosh, no.
There was
or
one,
where the locker room is.
Could someone show me where the locker room is?
He's like, hold on, I have a map.
There was one offensive lineman that picked him up like a child and was like, Josh. So cute.
It is cute.
So yeah, I'm a Josh Dobbs.
All right, Texans versus the Bengals. Both quarterbacks looking pretty good. Joe Burrow's back, so back. The Bengals are favored. I think I'm going to go with that as well.
Yeah, I would say CJ Stroud of the Texans is like obviously having the rookie season of a lifetime, but I don't feel like right now you can stop Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to go Bengals.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. Broncos versus Bills.
I don't know.
Dude.
I would like to think that if the Broncos can beat the Chiefs, they can beat the Bills because the Bills are obviously worse than the Chiefs. Like, dare I go Broncos?
Yeah, do it.
Just because you want to go Bills?
Yeah.
All right.
Shake on her.
Go Russell.
Ew.
I'm your biggest fan. Ultimately, go Sierra.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you, sister. All right. Well, that's an interesting bet. We haven't had that many bets in a while.
This week of football is interesting.
Even without the three best... Well, I don't know if the Dolphins are the best team, but even without the Chiefs and the Eagles in the lineup, got some pretty
I would
interesting
say
games.
Chiefs, Dolphins, Eagles.
And the Ravens are probably the best teams in the league right now.
Yeah.
I think Bengals are on their way back, moving up the fine scale.
They are.
All right.
Fine.
Honestly, I feel like they're fine.
They're fine.
Not to be confused with, they're fine.
The 49ers are fine.
Brock Purdy's so not
full
fine.
bit. This is a full bit.
All right.
Moving into our top 3 stories before. Drumroll, please. This is the Good Patch. The Good Patch are wearable patches designed to make each day just a little bit easier, whether you need to look alive, find your zen, or clock in some beauty sleep. They've got you covered. Simply peel, stick, and wear for up to 8 to 12 hours. We suggest the Rescue for hangovers, Relief for sore muscles, Cycle for that time of the month, and B12 for a little extra energy. You can use our code name3players at checkout for 15% off your order. All right, well, without further ado, here are our top 3 sports news stories of the week.
Yeah, we picked the ones that we think you need to know.
And you do need to know them.
Honestly, this first one's kind of crazy.
It is.
And the first news story is kind of crazy. In my life.
You're probably wondering how we got here. And it's because it's episode 27 of the podcast.
Okay, so Live Golf, which we've spoken about before, kind of crazy. They've announced off-season changes, like they're a fucking football team.
Yeah.
Or a baseball team. Or a soccer team. Or an NBA team.
Or any team.
Any team. Because
team with an off season.
this golf league has teams, whereas the PGA Tour is individual. Okay. Anyway, so CBS reported on Wednesday morning that Live Golf will implement a number of changes in their offseason that includes trades, free agency, and like filling open roster spots. It's insane.
It's just they're treating it like a full-blown team.
Yeah.
Which is different for anybody who has been like a spectator of golf in the past.
Yeah. So like the transfer window is going to be filled with like contract extensions, a free agency period, trades, and the potential of adding non-Live Golf members to the league if they meet the minimum competitive criteria.
Yeah.
So off-season is going to be divided into 3 phases. Phase 1 is contract extensions. If a player finished in the top 24 of individual standings, they have the option of a contract extension. They don't have to take the extension, and if they don't, they enter free agency.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
Phase 2 is the free agency. So whoever opted out of a contract extension will be joined by those who did not make the top 24, and they can either re-sign with their team, negotiate a contract for a new team, or like join another team with an open roster spot.
Okay.
So then, yeah, phase 3 is filling the open roster spots that were not filled by a contract extension or free agency. Free agency ends with 4 league roster spots open. So this will be filled through like at the Live Golf Promotions, which is held next month in December. They play over 3 days with cuts and score resets. So whoever like makes the cut after that 3-day period will fill a roster spot. So you've got contract extension, free agency, open roster spots.
I just feel like with Live, there's the rules they really are making them up. They truly are. They literally are making them up as they go, obviously. But it's just like so much. And maybe it's like anytime you enter a new, concept to society, there's going to be pushback. And I know like that's what we're doing right now. And anytime anything's introduced, it's like that. But like I really am, every time I read about it, like even you said that and it all makes sense. But every time I read it, I'm like, huh?
Well, and I want to know how this fits in with the Live PGA merger.
Right.
Because PGA is very much not a team league. So, like, what? And because, like, PGA, you become a pro because you've qualified, you started as an amateur or played at a PGA qualifying course to then become part of the PGA Tour. But now with these new rule changes in Live, like, they're holding a draft, which is new. So,
yeah.
They host a draft following those Live Golf Promotions. Teams are allowed to trade players on their roster, draft players. Like, it's just wild. So I don't understand how this all comes into play with the PGA merger. I don't get it, but...
Did you see Tiger Woods, like, commented on it?
I didn't.
He goes on to say, like, there's things in Live, like, he's like... he literally said, what the hell is going on? Like, when he looks, he's like, what the hell is going on? And then he's like, here's how you make it really simple, and then, like, breaks it down. Because he's, like, introducing his own, like, little league or whatever. Mm-hmm. Little. It's Tiger Woods. Yeah. Probably not little. But, yeah, I do think it's, from a person on the outside, very new to the golf world and giving a shit, it's just, like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I don't get it, but, we felt like you needed to know it.
Yeah, it's big. And if you're... in the golf world, in any sports world, golf is huge, especially a spectating sport. It's just wild.
Yeah.
All the twists and turns. All right, next story. The Tennessee Titans bench Ryan Tannehill for Will Levis. Will Levis is getting his shot.
Yeah. So Ryan Tannehill was their starting quarterback. He's a vet. He's been in the league for years. But the Titans head coach Mike Vrabel announced on Tuesday that Will Levis, a rookie who was drafted in the 2nd round this year, will replace him. He filled in for Tannehill due to injury the last 2 weeks, but now they're like, hey, this is working, so we shall see.
Yeah.
And if the girlies remember, in our very first episode talking about the draft, we reported on him because he was, going into the draft, the prospected 7th overall pick in the entire draft.
And he was 33.
Yeah, it was sad. But now he's getting his moment.
Yeah.
You just gotta be patient, my
Wasn't
guy.
he the one with, like, the really hot girlfriend that everyone's obsessed over?
Yeah, I don't think they're together anymore. She got some brand deals out of it, though, so good for her.
She got brand deals out of being featured in the draft?
She had a bigger draft weekend than he did.
Oh, for sure. She was not number 33. I think she was the people's choice number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am happy he's getting his little day in the sun, right?
Yeah.
Getting a shot.
He did great. Like, he threw for 238 yards, 4 touchdowns. I'm interested. I'm tuned in.
Yeah. And Mike Vrabel thinks that he's the shit, so. Mm-hmm. And Mike Vrabel will trust, right?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but yes. He gave a very loose statement, basically being like, we'll see how Ryan Tannehill does in the coming weeks, but basically Will's our guy. And if I'm a betting woman, my guess is that Ryan Tannehill will not see the starting spot the rest of the season.
I agree. I was just going to say the same thing. And in the presser, was like, not only was like, he's like, Will's our guy. He's like, he's our quarterback. He's going to be great, like, talking him up. So it's like,
yeah,
you're already kind of loading the bases for that to be the next.
I wonder what DeAndre Hopkins thinks.
I'm surprised he hasn't told us.
Same, because his whole thing when he was trying to figure out where he was going to go was that he wants a winning quarterback or a reliable quarterback, and now he's had a quarterback change, and he's a rookie.
Has anyone checked his Twitter? Interesting stuff.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, I think the craziest thing to come out of this week.
Yeah, third and final story. I would say the one I'm excited about the most.
Yeah.
Intrigued by, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Colorado women's basketball upsets LSU.
The defending national champs.
Yeah, if you've been listening long enough, we were really enthralled with LSU's women's basketball team. Kim Mulkey is our girl. We love her. Angel Reese is also our girl. We also love her. Mm-hmm. And Kim Mulkey had some words.
Yeah, so LSU lost to Colorado 92-78, and this is the first time that the number one team and defending champions have lost their home opener or season opener since 95. Like, that's nuts.
That is nuts.
So yeah, like Vic said, Kim Mulkey, their head coach, had some words. She just said that overall the team lacked toughness and she wasn't really shocked by the loss. Mm-hmm. This is what I was talking about with Angel Reese. So she didn't actually say this, but that it was her that she's talking about, but she was like, I'm disappointed and surprised in some individual players that I thought would just be tougher and have a little fight and leadership about them.
And if you go back to a previous presser, what she said about Angel Reese in detail did note on leadership. Mm-hmm. I thought what she said was amazing. Yeah. Like in the original presser about Angel Reese, I forget. I say original. I actually don't know if it was before or after, but the one that I think we were talking about earlier, where she was like, she brought this on herself. She's huge. She's big. It doesn't get bigger, but she has to step up to the plate, and she's going to. Like, she's like speaking it like a true coach should, which I also love. While we're on this topic, in that presser, she said, "There's other talent on this team that deserves to be talked about." I fucking love that. That is such a good coach. She even says, like, it's not the Angel Reese show.
Yeah.
Like, what a bad bitch. I freaking love her. I love her. It is the Angel Reese show, unfortunately. I'm not unfortunately, but it is.
I think talent-wise, maybe not. There probably are other players, but, like, in a global, like, national scale, it is the Angel Reese
show.
But
what a good coach to be like, hey, you may care about her NIL deals, but I actually care what's happening on the court. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of other girls that deserve to be talked about and deserve your attention. Freaking love her. I'm such a stan, dude.
Yeah.
Everything she says. And it's not like the cute, convenient thing. Like, she, like, says the hard shit.
No, she doesn't shy away. I don't know if anyone will be shocked by this, but Coach Prime, the head football coach of Colorado, his daughter, so he has two sons on the football field, and then his daughter plays for the Colorado women's basketball team. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, talking about the win, and he was like, it's huge. We can't underestimate what they just did. Like, that was a huge upset for the program, for the university, for women's basketball as a whole. He's like, I wish I could have been there to witness myself, but it was a blessing. He said that he was already asleep, like, didn't even finish watching the game. And then
classic
woke up to a voicemail from his daughter who called him right after the game, and he said she was just, like, screaming in the phone, like, going nuts. And he was like, I should have stayed awake to watch it.
Like, yeah, you
should have gone, you fucker.
Fucker.
So I think Coach Prime just, like, owns all of Colorado. I'm not really sure, but 3 kids are dominant athletes at the school. So
yeah, that's crazy.
A little tidbit.
Like, those genetics are just crazy.
Yeah.
If I'm his daughter, I'm freaking pissed.
Why?
I fell asleep during my game?
They smoked them. They won by, like, 20.
In basketball, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a story, but it's basketball related in a different league. Anyway, side note, did you see what LeBron James said about Dylan Brooks' deal?
No.
Because, you know, like, if you've been listening to us for a long time, we love LeBron James. We hate Dylan Brooks. I love that we're just so blatant about our bias now. We're like, hey, we hate him.
Yeah. If you've been listening at all or tuning in, you know that we fucking hate Dylan Brooks.
Yeah.
That was almost going to be a story that, like, Dylan Brooks still can't shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I think it was.
No, today.
Oh, got it.
I had that typed out, and then I was like, Raegan, chill.
Like, God, we've had that story a couple times now. But no, LeBron James was like, I was so surprised. Because you know, like, obviously all the drama between LeBron James and Dylan Brooks is what started all this. But he was, like, asked about the deal, and he was like, anybody in this league that gets a deal like that deserves it. Like, hats off to him.
Yeah,
I'm definitely paraphrasing, but, like...
Dylan Brooks could never.
say that about LeBron James.
About anybody.
I know, but I'm like, LeBron, be petty. We know you can.
He'll do it on the court because what Dylan Brooks said about LeBron James is he was like, I can't wait to lock him down. Like,
I know, but LeBron James has been petty on the internet about Dylan Brooks, so I'm like, let's bring it back. I loved that energy last year.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Dylan will grab his dick again and we'll get to hear it. I don't know.
Anyway, not story worthy, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up our top 3 sports stories of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We felt like you needed to know them.
I think
you
they
got
were
some
interesting.
golf. You got some women's basketball.
You got some football.
You got some football. All right. Well, before we go into our walkout fit of the week and our breakdown, we've got another sponsor. Our walkout fit of the week is brought to you by Waterboy. Replenish after a long weekend with a stick of Waterboy. Formulated with electrolytes and vitamins, this hydrating drink mix helps reduce nausea and fatigue and helps you chill out after a weekend out. Each stick of Waterboy is vegan, has 0 sugar, and includes 3 times electrolytes, vitamins, and its competitors. The original Weekend Recovery is available in strawberry lemonade and blue raspberry flavors with the newest Athletic Recovery and lemon lime. So whether it's from working out or going out or reach for Waterboy, you can use code FORTHEGIRLS for 15% off your order. That's the cans, the sticks, the merch, all of it. We stand by all of it, love all of it. It keeps us going.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps our weekends weekending.
I wore my merch from them, the little baby tee that says hydration is hot. Hydration is hot. Hydration is hot. I wore it to the gym yesterday and I saw this guy like staring and I was like, take a fucking picture, it'll last longer. And then I realized I was like, oh, he's trying to like read my shirt. I was like, Waterboy, code for the girls. Thanks. All right. Well, now we're into our walkout fit of the week, which is just Vic and I's way of incorporating fashion in sports.
It sure
When worlds collide. What is that from?
I don't know, but it made me think of, this is a world premiere.
I don't know what either of those things are from.
Wait, you know what mine's from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a song. Why
It's
can't...
it's a producer's like tag.
Yeah.
So, this is a world premiere. It's in front of like hip hop songs.
Yes. That is like bringing back a core memory that I can't put my tongue on
Hill
right
House.
now. No. It was like when another world premiere. What is it?
I think it's This Is a World Premiere. This is a world premiere.
I don't know. Anyway.
We'll look it up after this.
Who's your walkout fit of the week?
So my fit of the week is PJ Tucker.
That dude be dressing.
He do be dressing, and it is a full moto leather set, matching set, in this like fire engine red. You'd call that fire engine, yeah?
That's about as fire engine as it gets.
I'd say so. With the chrome hearts, little duffel, and I don't know on the shoes, but chrome hearts bag, fire engine red leather. I just fucking love leather. I love leather every way. I love a matching leather situation as well. That's trending in my life currently, and I love this. What about you?
Mine is Jalen Hurts
Oh,
in a full Gucci fit.
dude, yeah.
He his pants were like the big, like classic
Gucci.
classic Gucci print, and then he's wearing a collared button up with a Gucci crew neck over top and a rude hat, and I just don't have words.
Yeah, no, he be dressing.
There's a reason he's like the new Jordan athlete. Like, he has the best style. He could pull off just about anything, because I gotta be honest, if I saw another dude wearing this fit, I'd be like, what are you doing? But because he's wearing it, I'm like, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, I love the collar through the crew.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Phenom. Good job, Jalen. You do be dressing.
Call him Ranch.
Cause he be
My
dressing.
favorite joke. Chloe hates it. All right, take us into our breakdown segment.
All right. Well, our breakdown segment for the new girls here is where we do just that. We break it down for the girls. So it can be a otherwise confusing sports topic. It can be something going on in the sports media that is like a one-off that's just weird. or
silly.
or if it's just something silly we want to talk about. We've really been plugging that in lately. Or if some of the girls DM us, you can do that too. Say, this doesn't make any fucking sense, girlies. Explain it to me. We'll do it. We'll do it to the best of our ability. And if we don't know, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll let you know that too. This week is the Heisman Trophy. So you probably, if you've been a consumer of any sort of sports, you've probably heard the term Heisman. This is a Heisman Memorial Trophy. It's awarded annually to the most outstanding player in college football. So typically, I think there's only been one time where it wasn't a quarterback, right?
I mean, majority of times it's quarterbacks, but there's been others. Predominantly quarterbacks win the awards, but every once in a while there's one that'll mix it up a little bit. So yeah, Reggie Bush won in 2005, Mark Ingram in 2009.
Oh, you're so right. Since 2000, only 3. But the majority of the time it is a quarterback because, of course, like the most attention's on them. But there are big names like Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry. There's been some, other positions that are in the running for it, but typically it is a quarterback.
They're voted on like 3 factors: great ability combined with diligence, perseverance, and hard work. So the people on the voting committee take those things into account when people are nominated, and then ultimately chosen to win the award.
Yeah. Whoever wins.
That's true.
And it's in New York City. It's this big weekend for college football. It's a really cool, I love watching it. It's like a really cool tradition. And it also it's like an outstanding award in football in general, because it really does, as far as the NFL draft is concerned.
Like the people that are voting on it, it's like select media writers, personalities who cover college football.
Wait, because that's why I wanted to cover it, because I was like, I literally was explaining this to someone at work the other day, and I was like, it's kind of hard to explain because there's nothing else like it.
Media writer? That's who votes on the NFL Top 100.
I understand, but one award. Like, there's not, like, there's the MVP, but that's really the only thing that's like that. But this isn't just about, MVP is like, you are the most valued. That's not what the Heisman's about. Like, you have to have, like, leadership and, like, the things that go into it are, like, personality driven.
I mean, I think those are all things that go along, because it says, like, they epitomize great ability. So, like, their ability to perform, but then also those things play into it too.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing else. I can't name any other thing like that in sports other than like an ESPY, but like ESPY doesn't have any sort of weight like a Heisman does.
Yeah.
Or like when what's his name got his Heisman revoked. Who's that? Reggie Bush. And he was like, it's like a character award too. And he's like, so when someone takes that away from you, it's not just saying like you don't get a pat on the back for like what you did on the field. It's like saying you're like you're not like a good person.
Yeah.
And like, to me, there's not really anything like that in sports.
Yeah, that's fair. So the people that are voting on it make up of a selected group of media writers, people that cover college football, and they're spread out like across 6 different regions in the whole country with 145 voters per region. So totaling 870 total votes.
Yeah.
From media personalities, which is crazy in itself because how much bias could that be?
Right. But I think when there's so many, it's like the bias becomes a little unequated because it's like so vast.
Yeah.
This is also what's interesting to me. Like the first choice votes receive 3 points, second choice is 2 points, and third choice votes get 1 point, and then they obviously calculate all of that.
So each person voting is submitting 3 people.
Correct.
Got it.
But yeah, it's just like a super high prestigious award. You can look up who's won it. Most of the time they do get to the league. I think there's only been a few that don't. But, and like we said, a lot of the time the majority is quarterbacks, but there's been some other ones as well.
There's a wide receiver up for, like, favored to in the top 5 this year too.
But yeah, the favorites to win this year, Bo Nix is the quarterback from Oregon. J.J. McCarthy is the quarterback from Michigan. Jordan Travis is the quarterback from Florida State. Carson Beck is the quarterback from Georgia. And as we just mentioned, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the wide receiver from Ohio State.
Yeah. So Bo Nix is favored, like, kind of by a landslide right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
That's 870 people that have to ultimately choose him. So.
Right. And as we said, it's like kind of a whatever they want, whatever they want to vote. But yeah, so that's the Heisman Trophy.
Great. All right.
Well, you want to close us out with your walk-up song of the week?
Yes. And just like the walkout fit of the week, our walk-up song of the week is our way of adding music to sports. So,
because those intersect.
They do.
And we've
100%.
always wanted a walkout song, so now we get one once a week.
Yep. And mine is, I wouldn't call it a deep cut, but it's like an oldie, but a goodie.
I would call it a deep cut.
Pride is the Devil by J. Cole featuring Lil Baby. And I forgot about it. And it has thanks to the DJ on Spotify.
Spotify DJ.
Uh-huh.
Raegan learned about the Spotify DJ last week after recording.
He brought it back, and it was the segment when he was like, all right, I'm going to bring back some stuff for you. And this came on, and I was like, hold on. So the like transition between J. Cole just like going on and on and on, and then Lil Baby just like taking
a little thing about us, Raegan and I, we love Lil Baby.
Dude, I
love it.
Love him.
I do too.
That's mine. Great song.
It is a really good song. I'm going to have to put it back in rotation. Mine, so similar. Such a similar vibe. Mine is Fantasy by Mariah Carey.
Great song.
I found out today that Mariah Carey is coming to Kansas City at the end of November. I'm so excited. Like, Queen.
That song, Fantasy, just like does something to me.
I was like in kind of a shitty mood earlier today, and I played it in the car, and I was like, can't stop me now.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so Fantasy by Mariah Carey. All right, any closing comments for the girls?
No.
No.
Came out well.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
We hope you have a better than fine weekend. We appreciate you tuning in. This week's episode 27 of Name 3 Players. We release a new episode every Friday to cover those hard-hitting stories. You can listen to our episodes on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and YouTube and stay up to date on all that happening around sports, what we think is important, what we think the girls need to know on TikTok and Instagram at Name 3 Players. And finally, you can listen to all of our walk-up songs of the week and special curated playlists for the girls by following us on Spotify at Name 3 Players as well. That's always all spelled out. And we hope you have a weekend.
For
the girls. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.